Welcome to Fireteam Chat, IGN's Destiny show. Thank you so much for joining us. Joining me in the studio today is CJ Gibson.
What's up?
Stevru.
What's up, everyone?
Fran Mirabella is out because he's working on a Fortnite pilot. He worked here a little bit late, but he will be back next week. We have a ton to go over today. On today's show, we're going to be doing a large content recap of everything that we know so far. We're going to be talking about the Nightfall changes, the exotics changes. We're going to be talking about all of the escalation protocol details that we've gotten thus far and talking a little bit about Anna Bay. So let's get right into it and talk about the escalation protocol details. This is what they've been talking a lot about. And it sounds like in the public space, you're going to have a lot of different areas to explore and find secrets. But in addition, there's going to be 2 public zones in Hell's Basin with escalation protocol public events that you can explore. And if a public event occurs during them, they'll actually sort of meld together into one thing. That is a big improvement. And overall, guys, what is your impression of this mode?
Yeah, I like it. Like, I think Court of Oryx, like I've said before in the last few episodes, I thought that they should have leaned more into something like that. I didn't like a closed-off version like Archon's Forge was, or like, every time something new comes out, I forget.
It's like Archon's Forge and Court of Oryx. Those were inspiration.
Yeah, what was the House of Wolves thing now, though?
Prison of
Elders, yeah. So then, yeah, I like this. And I think the biggest thing is that the fact that now, and they kind of leaned in towards, hey, you might be able to do this with 3 people, but there can potentially be up to 9 people in an environment to help you actually do that. That's the part that I think is really cool.
Yeah, so up to 9. They said that this time around, we expect 3 to 5 players at max level to feel required. 9 can participate.
Yeah.
So you're going to go in there with your fire team, hopefully get some friends, and hop in with 9 and get those drops. The drops are at 3, 5, and 7, but you have to complete the phases to get those specific items. We talked about that last week. So be sure you check out last week's episode because there was a few of this on there. So Stev, you're definitely endgame oriented. You love doing Trials of Osiris. You like doing the raid. And according to Bungie, that this is an endgame event. It's going to stand alongside the Nightfall, Trials, and the Raid. So, do you see that being true?
Well, the common theme that I've heard before this has come out is they wanted to make it as challenging as possible. I've heard that multiple times from multiple people who work at the studio, and that's great. I think it's
give us names. Just kidding. Just
from that one guy.
Social accounts.
Yeah. But I think it's time that the PvE players get some love in terms of endgame content.
Yeah.
And this sounds like it's getting there. There's 5 unique bosses, so at minimum, it's 5 weeks of content.
It's like Court of Oryx, when
yes.
there would be a new boss every week. You'd have to solve the puzzle for defeating them, and that I really liked.
Yeah.
Yes. So minimum, it's 5 weeks of content, which is great. And it sounds like it's super tough. Like, you won't be able to do it right away, right? You can't like just go into the public zone and do it the first day because you have to be max level. And since it's new content, there's going to be so many people in the public space. It's going to feel like a super dynamic world.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty excited.
I think that was a challenge with public events over time, right? You're like, okay, I've done this before. This is a reason to actually go back. There's new weapons each week. I think once you get all 5 of them, isn't it like they start rotating and filling in after that, I think, or something to the effect?
I believe so,
Yeah, so those are things I think that are really positive. So, yeah, I'm excited to get into this.
So one concern that I have is how much they're talking about escalation protocol. And that seems to be what they're focusing on. They haven't really talked too much about the campaign or what we're going to experience. But through these mini Vidocs, we have seen a little bit more of this worm god thing in the background. Like,
that was
going
super cool, that moment.
Yep.
Jumping up.
During the campaign. So we are going to be fighting a worm god. That seems actually pretty cool. And Anna Bray seems like a super interesting character. If you read the comic was really, really fantastic. I was very happy with it. I'm like, oh man, she seems so cool. And it takes place when everybody lost their light. So sort of at the beginning of Destiny 2. It's almost like a prequel. It is a prequel to what we'll be experiencing in Warmind. My concern is, and I tweeted this out, I was super salty. I got concerned when I saw her on a computer typing, and I'm like, I swear to God, if you made this phenomenal character and she is going to be an escort character that you're protecting while she types something on a computer, my ghost can do that. I do not want Anna Bray
Well, maybe she
to
got
be wasted. I
maybe
don't want
she
her
got
to be
tractor
wasted.
cannoned and she can't do anything else.
She's like, oh, I'll just type.
You know what she was doing? You know what she's doing? She was hacking the vault space to give you 50 extra slots.
100.
Yes.
100.
Yeah.
That's what you needed, Des.
100.
That was a positive, and we will
Yeah.
talk about that from
50
the
extra.
the update. They said we
it's
were going to
100.
get 50. They gave us 100.
Right. So they said 50 initially. They're giving us 50
Oh, you mean 50 extra on top of the 50?
Yes.
So let me ask you this: did you guys read the comic?
I didn't. I browsed through the first few pages. I did not read the whole thing.
Well, you Steph.
I skimmed
Give
through
chance. It's really good. Totally read it. Everybody who's watching, read it. It's free. So
Nice.
yeah, you just got to go to
Free.
the website and check it out. And it's really cool. You don't have any of the same concerns as I do about wasting this amazing character that they've built.
No, I think, again, we talked a little bit last week about Curse of Osiris. I think the campaign is the thing that people are most concerned about.
Yeah.
I think even when you play through it, though, for me, like, I'm definitely hey, I want to do the grind. Campaign really is not a grind. And a part of me wishes that you could play the campaign a little bit more freely. Like, it's not just through Ikora's memories and stuff like that, even right now, right? But then the other thing is, I wish they would potentially implement something else to do after you've beaten the campaign.
Yeah.
A reason to go back, a reason to, and maybe there is stuff like that with these exotic masterworks or whatever. Like, I hope they have a reason for you to play the campaign more than once.
Yeah.
Because again, like, who's really done the campaign except for multiple different characters? Like, have you played through the Curse of Osiris campaign again on your?
I do not enjoy the Curse of Osiris campaign, and if I were to play through it, I would run through it in 30 minutes like Steph does.
But that's what I mean. So besides just actually doing it with a second character, there's no reason to actually play it after you've beaten it.
And that's the thing. Even if the campaign itself is something that you have to run through, there should be compelling character moments in that narrative. And I feel like we got even with all the critiques I have about Curse of Osiris, we got a little bit of that with Osiris, where he is at least with you doing stuff.
Yeah.
Remember the beginning of Destiny 2 when Ikora is throwing her Nova Bomb at that ship and the ship's flying off? You're fighting alongside Zavala. You're protecting the tower.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
it was so good.
We kind of just chase these hologram images of Osiris throughout the campaign of Curse of Osiris. And at the end, he shows up and does one thing, and then he leaves forever.
Yeah.
I hope they don't do that with Anna Bray. There has to be a technical challenge that they're facing, but it's just such a bummer to get these super compelling characters that, to me, I feel are wasted.
Yeah,
And that's what we were all at the event, right? Like, all of us sat together that moment when Zavala like does his super, and then you see
And the backstory.
and the backstory. And so I think coming in from that, especially knowing Bungie's legacy with other characters being involved in campaigns, I think a part of me was waiting for that in the original Destiny campaign. Hey, when does Zavala and Cade and Ikora join us to actually play through some of these missions?
Yeah.
Now, I don't see that happening probably, this time either. But that, I think, is now the issue. People would probably like to have that. And yeah, I mean, I don't who knows how she's going to be implemented in the campaign.
And I totally agree with Destiny. Destiny has always had an issue with character development.
They call you on their comms.
Yeah.
Hey, you're doing great.
The only time you really feel invested into a character is a cinematic cutscene. I don't know if you guys remember this, but do you guys remember the Night Stalker side quest in Destiny 1 where you're chasing this Night Stalker?
Yeah,
I
I
forgot
remember.
what his name is. I think it's like Tevis or something. And at the end, you find him, but he's dead.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually felt pretty invested in that subclass mission. That one was my favorite out of the three.
Well, that was that Pantheon, right? When you actually go over and you think
Yeah.
you get it at the
And-
at the
and
end.
Yeah, like the Titan Hammer subquest. You
Yeah,
just kind of
and
go there.
I-
It's sort of like a lore building thing. You get the hammer. It's
Yeah,
really cool, but
and-
there's no character tied to it. With the Hunter, they had that.
Yeah, and it's what it is it's a sense of despair. Like, oh man, I couldn't save this guy
Right.
in
Yeah.
time. And I wish they would do that with more main characters. Like, I love Cade, but if he died, everyone would be like, holy crap, he
Yeah.
died.
Yeah.
And they don't do that.
Don't kill Cade. That's not what he's saying.
yeah.
Don't kill Cade,
That
but
is not
make
what he
us
said.
make us feel something. You know.
Well, I mean, we've talked about this with the speaker as well too. Like, he kind of died off camera.
I didn't know he died until 2 weeks after
Yeah.
this.
And Steven and I had that conversation. I was like, do you think the speaker died? And then we actually went through the tower and explored some of that lore. If you did that right after,
Yeah.
you'd find those messages where he did.
Yeah.
If you didn't do that, you'd be like, well, he just fell down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna
But
get
here's
up
the
maybe.
thing. Why didn't Gaul rip off his head and hold it up? God of War style. Like, I know. T for teen, right?
T.
Yeah. Or just be like, step on his head and be like, I have killed him.
Yeah.
He is dead now.
Yeah, there was no defining moment where you were like, oh, the speaker's now dead.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know. Like, he fell down and then the ship blew up. And I was like, wait, where's
Gaul,
the speaker?
Yeah.
Gaul, clearly dead.
Yeah, I mean,
His buddy clearly dead.
well, I mean, you just
See, like
you
his
think,
buddy.
though,
No. Well, Gaul killed his buddy there,
Right.
right? And you knew like that was the end of him.
Right.
I don't know why they didn't do that with the speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe just a miss. So anyway, yeah. So those are some of my critiques of what we've seen so far. What else did we learn about Anna Bray? In the comics, she has Jinju, her ghost, and she's a hunter. That's really cool. It's cool seeing her pop her golden gun. Let's talk about some of the positives. I just want to say thank you for giving us 100 vault spaces. I'm still not calling it fixed. I'm not saying it's fixed, but even they didn't say it was fixed. They said it was a short-term solution. Vault space has been increased from 200 to 300 items, and with all the loot we're going to be getting in this expansion.
Yeah.
Another prop I have to give. A new inventory category has been created that will contain pursuit tracking items such as those for exotic quests. Get them out of my weapon slots. Thank you.
Yep.
Yes.
Big improvement.
Really
big
big improvement.
quality of life improvement.
Yep.
So
And-
very happy about that.
And emotes, another big quality of life improvement.
There is an emote wheel.
On the wheel, available to just apply in the menu, not in the vault. So also
Definitely.
good.
So let's talk about one of the confusing aspects in this update, and that was the prismatic matrix. So basically, they're adjusting the Eververse to give you more free stuff. So it's positive, but the way they phrased it was a little hard to decipher. So Stev, how did you interpret it?
I had to read that part of the update multiple times until I understood what was going on. Basically, TLDR, it's a step in the right direction, but it's not the best system. Basically, what it is every week you get, I think it's 10 items in that are separate to tests
That you can randomly get.
that you randomly get, and there's something called a prismatic. I'm blanking on the word.
Keyword.
You get something
Facet.
every time or the first time you level up on your account. You can't get it per character. It's
a
once.
facet.
Yeah, facet.
Once a week.
Once a
stacks
week
up to 3.
per account, and it stacks up to 3. And what you can do is you can look at the 10 items in that prism, and if there's like an item you want, you can basically slot machine and try to get that item.
That's what it seems like. Slot machine. Maybe you could buy it. I think,
Yeah,
I think they're going to make you slot machine.
Yeah,
for
I
it.
think it's going to be a slot machine. The great thing is, though, is if you have one of those items, it's going to be grayed out.
Knocks it off.
So you have a higher chance of getting it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you still get your bright engrams every time you level up. So it's basically like, here's more stuff, here's a better chance, less chance of duplicates.
Yeah.
It's a step in the right direction.
It's an improvement. I seriously thought they were nuking the Eververse altogether. I'm like, oh, this is great. It's gone.
Yeah, and Tess is still selling now 18 things now.
Which you can buy with Bright Dog.
Yeah.
Which you
And-
get from your prismatic reward.
Yes, and to note, if you would like, you could spend 200 silver to buy another prismatic thing.
Yeah.
Yep, not doing that.
So, well, that's what I mean. It'll be interesting to see how that's received within the community. The crazy thing, and I kind of wish Fran was here because he would troll me. I wanted the selfie emote, and I think I have enough Bright Dust for it. It's available right now.
Yeah.
20, 30. I've probably bought like $30 of V-Bucks every couple weeks
V-Bucks?
and months. Yeah,
Or
in Fortnite.
V-Bucks?
CJ has 3.
In Fortnite.
CJ
But in
has 3
Destiny?
kids.
In Destiny, I haven't, which is what's crazy because I think that's what's so weird about just looking at the free-to-play system versus, the DLC. And I mean,
Hey, you want this? Buy it.
yeah, exactly. And so it's weird because that's what I'm interested to see how this affects Destiny moving forward. That was a big point of contention. I think the Eververse in general still is. And
Why
after
don't they just make really cool armors that you can buy if you want?
I mean, but that's the thing. I
You
think
sort of can with. You have to buy the stuff, then
kind-
dismantle it.
Yeah,
then
it's
Yeah.
not an
Bright Dust.
exact pick your item thing.
Right, and
You
that's
need
the
to buy the
difference
silver,
between-
get the bright dust,
Yeah.
and then buy it.
that's the difference between Fortnite and this, but also it's free to play. So, I'm interested to see what the reception is because I don't typically engage in buying microtransactions in Destiny at all. I know some people do, but yeah, I mean, I think this is again better. It's still just a little bit weird why they don't allow you to just pick something. I guess maybe we won't know for that until we actually try.
I mean, I have a theory with that is there's so many things that aren't very desirable, like ghost shells and stuff like that. If you were to be able to pick whatever you'd like, no one would ever pick the other stuff. I'm trying to play devil's advocate to the whole Tess Everest sucks, but I'm guessing that's why.
She does.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, she does.
I don't think about it though. I mean, for the most part, now that they're implementing more of these types of things in the actual activities, like I don't really care that it exists or not.
Sorry, CJ. I cannot think of the last time from one of the Bright Engrams that I got anything I wanted. I don't get armor drops anymore.
Same.
I just get ghosts and blue things that I dismantle.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's not really that big of a deal to me.
No, me either.
Before, remember, do you guys remember when the community was so outraged about it? And they have every right to be.
Yeah.
But since they're pushing out new content and all these quality of life changes and weapon tuning, I really haven't heard much controversy.
Because nobody has any reason to go there.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
And there's a bunch of stuff to do now in the game. And you can earn Bright Dust and get other weapons that are actually impactful to your journey playing strikes and raids. And now with PvP ranking and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
So,
Did they take out the spicy ramen emote?
Well,
Is that
season
the one
one
that was removed?
That's a season 1, so I don't think you can get that anymore.
And I mean, that's the kind of stuff that's probably going to
I
happen.
swear I had it, and I can't find it on any of my accounts. And I
yeah.
was wondering if that was the one they removed because of the glitching.
No,
I don't.
that was the
when
walking
you could
back
walk
emote.
backward into a wall.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Scary. No, I can't remember what it's called, but that's one that broke trials. But yeah, I mean, the same thing's going to happen with a lot of season 2 stuff here. From Iron Banner weapons to the selfie emote, and then what else is going away potentially? That's in
The
there right
broom.
Mic
Sleeper.
drop.
Mic drop. So I definitely want to get those. So I'm glad they're featuring. I think it's the broom and the selfie emote right now that you can actually get from Test. So I'm going to use my Bright Dust to get some of that.
Selfie was cool.
I wish the rewards were cross-platform because right now when I go to Destiny sets, it's like you have everything. I'm like, not on PC. I don't, and it still shows that I do.
Any of it was cross-platform.
Right?
I know.
Any of it, but
Yeah. Lol. We're gonna move on.
Yeah, we're gonna
You
move
said
on.
but, and then you stopped. So, okay, let's talk about the Nightfall changes. I actually skipped past this the first time, but last night we streamed on Fireteam chat, and somebody called in and brought it to my attention that it is actually a substantial upgrade. They're going to be adding modifiers now to just regular strikes, heroic strikes, and they're adding some new burns. The arc singes are 25%. The arc solar envoid burns basically are 25% now. The advantages include Brawler, Grenadier, and Heavyweight. Brawler's double melee recharge rate and damage. Grenadier is double, same thing for grenades. Heavyweight is triple power ammo drop rate / double power ammo weapon damage. Power weapon damage. That sounds really cool.
That's good.
That sounds really, really fun. Disadvantages: glass. Players' health and shields are halved, but recharge rates are doubled. That seems like it would cancel each other out, but you will die faster still. Because of the recharge time. Blackout radar is disabled and enemies do 20 times increased melee damage. That's going to be put on a Thrall mission.
Exactly.
You know that's happening.
Getting melee in the face.
Iron, enemies no longer stagger. No health pools are... And health pools are increased by 50%. Sounds going to be interesting. And grounded, players take 5 times damage while airborne. I don't even know how to press the jump button anyway, so I'll be fine there. Yeah. And then, separate from that, guys, we're getting the Legendary Nightfall Challenge card. You buy these at Zerg, you sort of upgrade your challenge card, and you can customize it a little bit more. Some of the unique challenge card disadvantages: extinguish, return to orbit on a wipe, famine, ammo drops reduced by 50%. Ugh. Match game, players must match their damage type to the enemy shield type. That one is gonna hurt. Imagine that on the Nightfall where your loadout locked.
Exactly.
You better be bringing Rainbow. Anyway, what else do we got here? Attrition, health regen is slowed greatly, and enemies drop health orbs. That's like a new mechanic.
Yeah, I mean,
really
there was a helmet that gave you that kind of in D1 a bit.
Yeah, but the enemies are going to drop health orbs. That's new.
Yeah.
That has a lot of potential for me. That was the most interesting. Momentum health regenerates only when a player is moving. So you're not going to be taking cover. You got to keep running around. All this sounds really, really positive. I'm happy that they're adding these 2 heroic strikes also. That's really interesting. Are you guys going to be running more Nightfall and strikes?
Yeah, I mean, I've started to do that a little bit more often for some of these weapons like DFA and Silicon Aroma. So yeah, and I'm excited to potentially see other weapons that are going to be introduced in Season 3. Yeah. So yeah, if those kind of things are added to it and you can get a fire team together, yeah, those are incentives to do it. And these kind of things, I think, make it fun.
Yeah, these modifiers are great. I can already tell people are going to be like, why wasn't this in the game at launch? But like, I'm glad it's here now. It makes you conscious of your loadout.
Yes.
For instance, the what's it called match made. I'm wondering if hard light isn't locked, because I know right now if you use hard light during a locked loadout, you can't change your element type.
Really?
Because technically you have to go into the gun and
you just hold square on your reload.
That is
that's hard light.
That's Borealis.
That's Borealis.
No, the way the gameplay clip they showed, he was switching
Oh,
on the
no,
fly.
I'm saying right now. It's
Oh,
like that.
gotcha. Yeah.
But I'm wondering, so like if, for instance, if you can do that, then Hard Light is the go-to weapon there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
All these modifiers are great. I'm excited to try them out. Like you said, that Thrall mission,
Yeah.
20 times
coming.
melee, it's cool.
That's gonna be rough.
Nothing negative about that.
And their whole goal, Bungie said, they're grinding with purpose like the Nightfall weapon quest. So that's good. They've loved seeing people chase after the DFA, for example.
Yep.
And this is a step in the right direction. In addition, we didn't even talk about the discoverables. They're going to have lore discoverables. I'm wondering if those are going to be like collectibles.
Yeah, hopefully.
And we did mention the giant sandworm god that I think we all clearly saw
Yep.
in the teaser footage. And then, my only concern, don't waste Bray. She's great. I want to see her kicking butt. Yeah, and then they also said new adventure, exotic quests, and secrets.
Yeah.
We all love secrets.
What was the tab that just got implemented that's in your menu now? I apologize, I can't remember. When you
don't know.
actually have the exotics, do you remember? There's like it's a pursuit tab, I think.
That's what I said earlier in the show. So
Yeah.
they're adding this. They said that's being added, but it's a pursuit tab. So all those things that were cluttering up your inventory, they're moved there.
Really good.
So that you can track your progress in those. Thank God that.
Yeah.
Why they reverted to
Yeah.
vanilla D1? I'm just like, are you kidding?
Yeah, when we actually queued into Destiny 2 the first time, I remember, there's so much kind of muscle memory when you're playing. I still think I bring up the menu to actually go to my friends list. I'm like, oh, I hit the center button instead of tabbing over, right? But yeah, so that progress tab was lost in Destiny, from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2.
Yeah.
And I was like, where is it? There's now the squares, and we did that in year 1 of Destiny. But the progress tab was the thing that kept you coming back. And challenges are good, but this is really nice because there's something to do, not just per day, it's like per week or per month. So
Yeah,
I'm digging that.
I'm glad we're finally getting to to the point where everything seems like it's preparing for September.
Yes.
It's a step in the right direction. I'm mostly positive thus far going into this.
I'm sorry, we just gotta strike that from our vocabulary. It's a step in the right direction. We just say that, and I can't help but smile because it's the thing that I see most on the internet that everybody's just kind of like, yes, it's a step in the right direction.
Well, they're building up for September because they didn't have time to course correct everything that's going on with Destiny.
And I do appreciate it. I think that, we just got to stop saying that because everybody...
It is a walk down the long runway that is a fully realized Destiny 2. Is that better, CJ?
I mean, I like that. Yeah. That makes me laugh worse. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, there's a lot of good things. And even with the developer updates, I think we tweeted out to Lars and as well John and Josh, everything. When they're showing the clips of all the exotic stuff online.
We're going to talk about that.
Okay, transition. That's been one of my favorite things.
Yes, these clips have been awesome. And this week, we got to look at Sweet Business, Risk Runner, and Darcy. Yeah, I think those are the three. And, oh, man, Sweet Business with that ammo reload. You basically never stop firing. And Darcy is basically Black Spindle, but there is a caveat because it looks like that's happening and there's nothing else going on. It's because he's in a Warlock rift and the Warlock is wearing the boots. What are they called again?
Man, I'm blanking.
So he's wearing the Warlock boots that increase reload. I have the name
They're
here on my phone.
exotic boots.
Yeah, but
basically, if you're in a Warlock, or if you have it on, your allies will get reload.
Yep.
Instant reload.
I'm surprised you haven't mentioned one exotic weapon that you mistakenly left out of your...
Oh, so those are called the Lunafaction boots?
Yeah, Lunafaction
And
boots.
Tractor Cannon is going to be amazing.
There it is.
CJ is going to get wrecked. Once I have my masterwork, you are done. We're doing a 1v1.
There's the caveat, the masterwork.
1v1.
That's going to be the lone perk tree. So
we're going to do our 1v1 pre-masterwork, and we will do one post-masterwork.
Okay. All right.
I can beat him at both.
Oh, okay.
Give me a tractor cannon and CJ's dead.
Let's see a vote in the comment sections. 1v1, me and Destin Gary. Our first 1v1 in private matches, I'll make sure I do no other 1v1s until it happens.
All right.
So,
all right.
Who do I
Tractor Cannon versus... You don't 1v1 anybody. We already know that we would all beat you. Okay. So Wise and Rebuke versus Tractor Cannon.
What's Wizen do?
That's the fusion. I'm bringing the
Oh,
fusion.
you're
I posted
done.
that fusion.
You're
clip.
done.
No, you can look at it, dude. No, listen, the Wizen rebuke. Get it if you haven't gotten it yet, because Iron Banner is live, and a lot of those weapons are potentially going to be.
He'll be charging up, boom, and he's gone. That's what's going.
I love this. I am going to clip all these things out and smash cut them nice. But yeah, so I am excited for private matches, and a lot of these.
Excited to win.
Yeah, a lot of.
Oh man.
A lot of these exotic
great.
changes. These are the things that I've always wanted them to do, and they pretty much have said that. Vigilance Wing, Skyburner's Oath, the TTK, 0.8. Tocom and Josh actually mentioned that, Kevin.
Have you guys seen the video going around the internet? They haven't teased Sunshot yet.
Okay. Yeah.
No, but it's Exploding Bridge, right? That's
Yes,
what
the
John
little John.
teased.
Yeah, well, there's a video of a guy shooting a harpy with a sunshot, and it cuts to like a nuclear explosion.
That's what it's going to be. Sunshot's going to be really good because hand cannons have been great.
And I hope that, there are some other exotics. I think John tweeted something like, hey, do you want to know more about certain things before?
Most people said yes.
And most people
I don't want to know anymore.
It's interesting to see that reaction, because I think that, part of me is in a bit of both camps, so I can appreciate what they're saying. I do hope there's some things that we don't know about that we have to find, and then we actually have to figure it out. But
so that's actually my question for this segment. My question is, what exotics are you excited to mess around with the most? Like, we haven't heard about Merciless yet.
No, exactly.
I don't think they're changing that.
And I don't think they're changing too much on that. But
I think that was one of the ones that they're not touching.
Okay.
Yeah, and Mida and a few other ones are kind of staying as is. And Vigilance Wing, that's the one that I mentioned. Like, that's I call it the TTA game changer, that if you end up going into trials and other PvP activities, as well as PvE, they could potentially have enough power to change how the game feels. And if a bunch of things do that, like if Skyburner's Oath has something like that, I mean, it's going to hip fire from the sky and track people. That's going to be pretty deadly.
Yeah, I mean, that already looks really good. I mean, everybody knows I'm really excited about Tractor Cannon. It's going to be a lot of fun. And seeing that clip of it muting people.
That's cool.
Once you project them outward, they just fall to death because they don't have jump.
Yeah.
And then, if they have a super, it's like, nope, shut down.
Yeah, suppressor.
They're done.
I mean, and that's really cool. There's a bunch of these things. I do like how they implemented where now we have most of the exotics in the game. There's a reason for you to chase the masterworked version. They add significantly not only like stats, but functionality to the weapon that allows you to have another quest to get the version of it that's a more powerful option. So
So wait, so which exotic are you looking for?
Yeah, that's the question.
See, the problem is
answer the question.
Whatever.
CJ.
If I say tractor cannon, then I feel like I'm,
CJ
whatever.
recognizes the greatness that is Tractor Cannon.
It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna say it's not cool.
That's his pick. CJ picks Tractor Cannon.
Okay, no, I'm probably
coattails.
I am exactly. That's what I was nervous of. I think I'm most looking forward to Skyburner's Oath. I think the clips of seeing that in action, jumping in the air and actually being able to hip fire stuff, non-ADS. I think that looks super cool.
What about Graviton? You're more of a ranged player. I figured you go Graviton.
Yeah, I mean, Graviton Lance is cool. I feel like we've seen it a little bit with Outbreak Prime before. I mean, I think I'm gonna like it in a PvE setting. I don't know how that will perform in PvP per se, but I think it's just I'm excited for that trial and error again. I didn't see an exotic IS Luna anywhere unless there's one buried in the game that I need to find.
All right, so mine was Tractor Cannon. CJ lied and said Skyburner's Oath, but it's actually Tractor Cannon. What about you, Steph?
Mine is actually Crimson.
Crimson?
Yeah.
Why Crimson?
Well, it's like the Red Death hand cannon, and to be honest, it's terrible right now. But from a lot of people who went to the summit and got to try it out,
Saw and heard
they
that.
all say it feels so buttery.
Didn't we see it when they did a little bit of PvP? Like just briefly, I think we saw that it was much more powerful.
I think you're right actually. But they never gave it its own trailer or anything. I'm just excited because I really like the Red Death in Destiny 1.
Yeah,
and
me
if it feels
too.
anything like that in a hand cannon form, I'm all for it.
Yeah, Red Death when pulse rifles were top tier. Like,
Yeah.
I was using that thing nonstop.
And it just looks so cool.
It does.
Yeah.
It looks way too cool for it not to be
I wish
more of a utility weapon.
if you meleeed it or meleeed with it, you just stab him.
On the end.
like an animation,
Yeah,
like in
you
Halo Reach.
stab him in the chest.
Yeah.
All
right.
What was the combo weapon there? Where he
Strang and Strum.
Yeah, Dragon Strum. So
That looks cool, too.
That looks cool as well. I think the pairing of those kind of weapons, if there are potentially things that arise in the game that we don't know about yet, and hopefully there are some of those things. If they pair well together, I'm interested to see some of those things come to the forefront. So
Neat little fun fact that I found out recently. If you look at the thumbnail of the Mida mini tool and the Drang, it's actually the mini tool and the Mida and the Drang and the Strum.
Like combined?
Yeah, they're both the guns are there.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Go check it out. Look at the thumbnail. It's both guns in one thumbnail.
Oh, there we
The
go.
final question I have for the show as we wrap it up for this one, all I want to know, guys, is are you excited? How are you feeling about this expansion going into next week? We'll start with Steven.
I am more excited for this expansion than I was Curse of Osiris. And I am still more excited for September, though. But what I do like about this, sorry, CJ, is content-wise, it might seem similar to Curse of Osiris, but they're giving us more things to grind for in this DLC.
Yeah.
And I think that will hold us over longer. If it holds us over to E3 and they drop that new mode that no one knows about yet, and then we still have things to grind for during the summer, and they drop a summer event, and then boom, it's September before you know it.
Yep.
All right. What about you?
So I'd be remiss if we maybe couldn't spend a few minutes talking about PvP. We have not got a chance. We didn't get a chance to dive into it last time.
PvP?
Exactly. Some game.
We talked about it a little bit. Go ahead.
A little bit. I mean, just the fact that Claymore is able to be grinded for. To me, that.
Oh yeah. Well, we talked about it a lot on last episode. Glory and Valor.
Yeah, exactly. I think that the biggest thing for me is while I really enjoy that aspect of the game, I think the biggest thing is just the fact that it's countdown and survival. I would love to see a classic elimination.
Yeah, I
added
would
to
love
that game
just
mode.
Clash or Control.
I mean, or that too. Like, there's no voting option right now. So from a standpoint of enjoying PvP, I think it's going to be. It'll probably replace Trials in one sense, because especially for the next month or two, people will play like Valor or Glory to rank up and actually try to get the weapon. But it's not quite there within the game mode, right? Because, I mean, unless, what do you think? Like, I wish that there was a classic elimination or potentially different game modes in that place.
Yeah, I would love classic elimination to come back. I'm just not a big fan of countdown, and survival to me, it's when you have the lead in lives, it gets way too campy.
Yeah.
I don't like that gameplay, but yeah, you're right. I wish they would just implement other modes, but like that's not a very hard change. Like they could do that down the line.
Yeah.
So on the PvP note for me, I just think that, I mean, it's positive because they're giving you new things to chase.
For sure.
Once you level up in that one thing, you do get that the weapon Redrix's Claymore, and that's cool to me.
Yep.
But so for you going into the expansion, you're fairly PvP focused, and you're a little bit worried that it's not going to live up to your expectations.
No,
Is that what I'm getting?
No, I think that it's right now. It feels like Trials needs a bit of a rework to be sort of the premier PvP event again. I think when I look online, and even for me, I haven't been playing as much. I hope that this creates that Trials feeling where I want to grind all the time with a set group of people to actually get this weapon.
Yep.
Once I do that, I still want to play, but I definitely want to figure out a way that there's a game mode that everybody comes back either for the weekend or enjoys on a long-term basis. Like Trials just needs like a Mercy or something like that, or a boon system added. And besides that, I think these are all positive changes.
Okay, so
I'm excited for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Overall,
It sounds like you're cautiously optimistic.
well, I mean, we've been saying that again about a lot of things,
Step
but
in the right
Well,
yeah,
direction.
all these things are good things.
Yeah,
for
we
sure.
need to wrap it up, and I want to say my little piece here. So I am cautiously optimistic. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and assume that Anabre is going to be interacting with your Guardian, and that the story is going to tell something that is enjoyable. I'm a little concerned that the community members who went are saying, hey, don't expect something major because you're probably not going to get it. I'm also a little concerned that no media was able to have any early impressions. That might be intentional. So I'm concerned about that. The fact that it was sort of a more intimate thing and we've heard less about it than we normally do makes me think, okay, maybe it's not going to be that good. And we've mostly heard them talk about a little bit about the campaign and escalation protocol, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm really excited about the sandbox changes, though. That is going to be the biggest thing. But that's not tied to the expansion. That is separate.
But some of those things are good. So from a standpoint of getting into the expansion, having what you need, the fact that there's a bunch of QOL changes are very, very positive. And for that reason, if you don't have the DLC, it's actually nice that private matches and a bunch of other things are coming, because that will keep the people who don't have the DLC engaged, as well as for the people like us who have the DLC and are going to play a bunch of the stuff. So,
well, that's it for this episode. I do want to remind people that we're going to be broadcasting on IGN.com. We'll be streaming IGN.com, Twitch.tv/IGN, YouTube.com/Fireteam Chat, everywhere we normally broadcast. When the expansion drops at 11 a.m., I'll be playing with CJ and Duggan for at least the first few hours.
Yep.
And then they might go, make sure you guys have a little bit of coverage on IGN. I am on the review, so I'll be letting you know my impressions after day one has completed and what we think of the expansion this far. Thank you guys for joining us.
Nice,
Thank
man.
you.
Excited. May 8th. It's
Yep.
coming.
May 8th, right around the corner.
Yep.
Tractor cannon.
There it is.
That's it for this episode, everybody. Until next time,
Guardians
out. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Fireteam Chat. Hey, don't forget that you can actually subscribe right here and hit that alarm bell because you'll know when Fran, me, or CJ are streaming and when new content is posted. In addition, you can check out this playlist for all the latest episodes. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.